Hello, and welcome to the 9th episode of the Cape Informers. I'm Christian. I got my boys Ryan, Dan, and Karl here today. Brady couldn't make it once again. He's out on the other side of the state. Piece of shit. Brady, get it together. Get over here, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was the co-founder of the show, but I guess not. We got a lot to talk about today, guys. We've been missing for a few days. So let's just get started right off the bat. Gotham casted its young, wise Bruce Wayne this week, guys.
They did.
And David Mazu. I don't know why I'm the one pronouncing names, because everyone knows I can't pronounce shit. But David Mazu. Now, David Mazu. Now, he was in touch with Keith Sutherland, which, by the way, is the weirdest name for a show where there's an adult and a young boy, and you call the show Touch. No wonder that shit got canceled. Just look at this picture of him. Touch.
If I recall from the premise, it's David Mazouz who's doing said touching.
The Toucher is our new Bruce Wayne, so
Let's see if he can touch our hearts with his performance as Bruce. So they say it's going to be a young, wise character. Now,
wise beyond his years, I believe was the
wise beyond his years. He sounds like a Tommy Pickles-esque character.
I'm thinking maybe they're gonna start the show with the killing of Bruce Wayne's parents.
Jim Gordon being on the scene for that shit.
Yeah.
Harvey Bullock taking a piss in the alley.
Most likely.
Yeah. So that's the other question. They also casted Selena Kyle, and it's a newcomer in the game. Her name's Carmen Big Cardra, something like that. She's new to the game.
Bikendova.
Cameron Bikendova.
She looks like a young Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes,
she does.
But the question is, guys, with this young Bruce Wayne and young Selena Kyle, I love that they put them similar ages. How are they going to integrate them into a show about Jim Gordon? Where are these little kids going to be coming in?
I feel like Selena Kyle's going to be playing like a little ex-thief. Not ex-thief, a little thief who gets into a lot of trouble. Has to run in with Jim Gordon a lot. And Bruce is just going to be doing the normal Bruce thing with his money. He's going to walk into a position, just throw money at people.
10-year-old kid throwing stacks.
Young Bruce is wise beyond his years. Why don't we ask him about what's going on? Maybe he has some input.
I mean,
young Bruce. Bring this kid in. He could apprentice to the...
Maybe we could see...
an internship at the Gotham City Police Department.
Do you think that there's going to be romance between the two? Because those two always have the on and off again romance. Right. Now, I could see them going for an Arrow vibe where Selena is the Roy Harper, the bad girl. She's dangerous. Bruce gets turned on by danger. He's a wise man, but how wise is he once he stares into the eyes of that beautiful 14-year-old girl?
Between the two aggressive teenagers will be great.
I mean, this kid was on the show Touch, so
that's true.
The Toucher.
He's already experienced in the touching.
Yes, this young Michelle Pfeiffer is destined for the Toucher. Anyways, I was actually thinking that. Oh gosh! I was actually thinking that we might see a Selena Kyle that, as her young self, is mirroring one of the roles that she's usually portrayed as, such as in Year One, and I think. Yeah. Even in.
So you think she's going to be a prostitute?
Even in Zero Year, not just a prostitute, but not
like...
Zero Year, but Dark Knight Returns. How she is more of a matronly figure to some of the younger girls in the brothel. Mm-hmm. Maybe we could see the Selena Kyle being a young acolyte under some older lady pimp's thing,
So you're thinking like a 14, you think they're gonna go into the child sex kind of thing? We were joking about Touch earlier, but now we're getting into some serious shit. You think that could be a thing?
It could be a thing, and if that's the thing, if we're dealing with a child prostitution ring, then I doubt that we are going to see much of an interaction between Bruce and Selena, especially
unless
in this
Bruce is a customer.
Yeah.
Don't we just get darker and darker?
No, Alfred's the customer. Excuse me, Mr. Wayne.
I mean, there's
He is
other
Jeremy
parts
Irons.
too.
Well, no, it's Sean Petrie.
Yep.
On this show.
Mm.
So don't get those confused because there's going to be two Bruces, two Alfreds.
Yeah.
This kid don't look like no Ben Affleck.
Nah, he
This
doesn't
kid
look like
couldn't
a
grow
young.
a beard. This kid probably doesn't have pubes.
Yeah. I mean, Oswald Cobblepot is also casted Robin Taylor. So I mean, if they're doing a teenage kind of thing and they're trying to put in the teenage villains, like I just don't understand. Like, hey, young man, you shouldn't be playing with those penguins. That umbrella's kind of dangerous. You can poke out your eye, like like.
Gotham High. We can
I
get
don't know what's gonna happen there.
So we're going like we were talking about like prostitution and
casually. We're talking about
Casual prostitution.
Let's scale that back to maybe like a thieves like gang, and she's the young acolyte,
Okay.
which is something you guys touched on. So
Like
let's bring it back
Fish
to
Mooney's gang.
maybe
Could
Fish
she, yeah,
Mooney.
could she
Yeah.
Fish
Fish
Mooney?
Mooney.
Yeah. He
Jada
infamous Fish Mooney.
Jada Pinkett Smith's acolyte.
Fish
Yeah.
Mooney sounds like
So-
a fishy name.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I mean?
does.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not even mean that as a pun. I just mean like,
Oh, the
They'd be-
cat gets the fish.
There was another guy casted, Drew Powell, and he's going to be Fish Mooney's right-hand man. And I wrote on the site that I think he's going to be the first target of the Penguin, because the only thing we know about the Penguin character is he's a low-level gangster, which is still friggin' hilarious to me. Him busting down doors, him beating people up. I just don't see it. But like, I see this guy, this Drew Powell character, he's going to be Butch, whatever his name is, because he's another made-up character, because apparently we can't have real gangsters like the Falcones or Maronis or Black Masks.
Jack Napier.
Yeah, or someone like that. We can't have that because that would make sense. So we gotta have Jada Pinkett Smith as Fish Mooney.
Yes.
And so I feel like this guy's gonna be the first target in the Penguin's quest for power.
Right.
And maybe that's a good idea. Maybe fucking Selena is tied into Fish Mooney. Then the question remains: where is Bruce? They're gonna show us him like in like middle school scenes, like walking around.
Gotham High.
He's getting bullied.
So, you'll pay for this someday.
Fuck you guys.
I'm gonna be Batman.
Does this kid look like to you like he's gonna be like basic? Bruce Wayne is the, I wouldn't say perfect human being as in like he has fucking problems, but like he is like the most advanced like thinker, the physical peak of human perfection, right? Do you see this kid reaching physical and human perfection?
No, it looks like he has more of a chance of playing Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he looks like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
He looks like Jesse Eisenberg and Michelle Pfeiffer's Illinger kid.
The toucher. Jesse Eisenberg's little toucher.
Oh my god.
I will find you. I will.
Okay. I have a particular set of skills.
Rule 1 of magic: be the smartest man in the room.
So come at me, get close.
Because we're not one. We're not just one step. Me and my colleagues are doing things you had never thought of. All right, Jesse.
Look at this fucking clown.
All right, let's stop quoting Jesse Eisenberg movies. All right. So Bruce Wayne. No one has any idea though how he ties in.
I don't know if it's. I mean, I guess I could see it at the beginning if like.
He's the first case.
Yeah, if like the murder of his parents is the first case, and Gordon gets close to him through that, but it's like I don't know. Do they keep a constant connection?
Just Gordon just visit
every day.
How's it going, Bruce?
And if so, how is Alfred involved? What's going on?
It'll be interesting.
This sounds really True Detective-y in a way.
I feel like it's sort of grasping at straws at this point. It's like we need something to draw people in, so we have to put Bruce in because it is in Gotham.
Without Bruce Wayne.
Like you need him.
We have Fish Mooney. That's the big draw. Jim Gordon.
The first problem is that they made a show about Jim Gordon. Like that's for me. He's a great character, but he's a secondary character.
This is what we're gonna see if Jim Gordon can be a lead character.
Right.
One could argue that in Batman Year One, that Jim Gordon is almost more of a central character than Batman is.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see if he can lead this show. It's gonna be cool to see. It's just like the same argument with Grant Gustin. Is he gonna be able to lead the Flash show? Ben McKenzie's led 2 other shows, so he's a lead actor. Let's see how fucking Jim Gordon does.
Right.
All right, yeah. So that's Gotham. We'll leave it at that. No more sex prostitution talk for today, unless Dan brings it up again.
There'll be something.
All right, another Batman.
The show is still young.
Oh boy.
Some more Batman-related news. Everyone knows the Arkhamverse games, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Origins. And Arkham Origins wasn't made by Rocksteady. Well, earlier this... I'm predicting the future. Earlier this week, we saw the announcement of Batman Arkham Knight. So that's like the new Arkham game, and the Arkhamverse is going to be the finale to all those stories, and it's going to be a year after the events of Arkham City. Right. And the big draw to this game is Kevin Conroy's back.
Right.
Yes. Batman is back, because that is Batman. That there's going to be the Batmobile, and you're going to be able to drive the fucking Batmobile.
Right.
How anyone doesn't buy this game just for that alone. And they said the Batmobile is going to be the most advanced car in the history of games. That the stage is going to be 5 times bigger than Arkham City to roam. So you're going to roam Gotham in the Batmobile. Scarecrow's back, Harley Quinn's back, Two-Face is back, and not to mention, Arkham Knight isn't just the name of the game, it's the name of one of the villains being written in by none other than Geoff Johns.
Right.
So, boys, thoughts?
Well, for me, this is big news because I love playing video games, and I loved Arkham City. And if you didn't finish Arkham City yet, spoiler alert, but... The end of Arkham City is one of the best stories I've ever played. In that Batman, you see, is left psychologically fucked up. Like Joker has died, and it's basically his fault in a way.
Took out Talia too.
Right, exactly. And so, if it's a year after, I feel like the Batman we're gonna see is a much grim and darker Batman. And you can see, though, the Batsuit is a way new look, a way more hardcore look. I saw a picture of gameplay, and this picture is insane in that the Batsuit looks militaristic. Like, he is going out to fuck someone up, not to save the city at this point.
Yeah.
And so I think this story is going to be amazing. Like, it's going to be a great game.
Oh, I'm excited, too. You talk about Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and I don't know if this one's being written by him, but Paul Dini wrote those. Mm-hmm. Fucking Paul Dini. Yeah. He's the master of the Batman, but I didn't even mean to say Batman. But so this story, it looks exciting. We have the villains like Two-Face and Harley and Scarecrow and Penguin all teaming up to take down the Bat because they're it's always the idea, if we get together, maybe we could beat them together. Right. And then the villains start fighting against each other, and that's how it ends up. But I bet you it'll be different this time around in this game. Something will happen. But they're like, after the events of Arkham City, we got to take this fuck out. He's taking out fucking Joker and Talia, and Clayface is... I don't know what happened. I can't even remember what happened to Clayface.
Clayface got dumped into
the Lazarus pit.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's gonna be exciting, and you can play as Harley if you pre-order.
Yep.
Who doesn't love Harley? Like Harley.
And she's not pregnant, so
yeah.
And everyone loves the huge interactive worlds that come with games nowadays, and now you're just getting Gotham with Batman.
I think a little thing to be afraid of is because it's so big and the map is so huge. You don't want the LA Noire effect of where you start fast traveling everywhere because it takes too long. You kind of want. Like your Skyrim, you kind of want that map to be filled with interactive events, happening, so that way you don't get bored traveling from place to place. Yeah, like in Batman Arkham City, even though the map wasn't big, you could glide around. I love.
Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Spider-Man 2.
I hope there's more boss fights like the Mr. Freeze boss fight. In Arkham City, which is excellent fight.
Brains.
And that's what was that's what I want. A little, not all detective work, but having to use his brains and not just beat the fucking piss out of people.
Yeah.
And that's what I want Ben to do too. So we were talking about the Batmobile and how they said that this car is going to be so advanced that it would take up an entire Xbox 360 disc just by itself.
Which
Oh,
is
wow.
insane.
That is how advanced this car. Rocksteady is back, and they were out, they said, to make the best video game car ever. You can eject Batman out of it. It can thrust over shit. It can do, like, wheelies. It can spin. It can, like I think I said already, eject Batman. Like, just crazy shit.
That's awesome.
This game has a lot of potential. And if you don't have it yet, and you want to play this game when it comes out, definitely get the Xbox One and the PS4, because this game...
Yeah, you're going to have to go next generation.
Yeah.
Like I said, the graphics are too good. The car is too good.
Yep.
If you just want the car sitting there by itself, you can get it on Xbox 360.
I'd pay for that.
Just the car.
The Batmobile.
I don't want anything else.
The Batmobile, the game.
The Batmobile. All right, so that's Arkham Knight. We've got no information on what the Arkham Knight character is going to be like, but we'll see how he ties in. Going to be awesome. That doesn't come out till October.
The trailer is awesome. If you haven't checked it out.
Check it out. It's on the site. One more thing to segue another Batman topic, because we got to squeeze as much Batman in here as possible. Just like DC does. We were talking about if you pre-order, you can play as Harley. On Arrow this week, they released a preview of their Suicide Squad. Now, on their Suicide Squad is Deadshot and Bronze Tiger and Shrapnel. But in the trailer, there's a moment from behind. They show a woman in an Argus jumpsuit with blonde hair, and she's got her hand up, and she's got black nail polish. Now, that's all you see of her. You see two quick shots of her. Now, there's speculation. I saw on IGN, they were talking about it, and a couple other sites, that could be Harley Quinn. Now, they don't necessarily think she's going to be in the episode, but she could be referenced to on Arrow. Do you think she's going to be referenced to? Because she, right now, in the current New 52 iteration, which Arrow has derived from, they always give references to 52 and all that kind of stuff. Do you think Harley could just show up and be like IGN was saying, they could go like, we're going to take Bronze Tiger, him, not her, she's too fucking nuts. Could we see Harley eventually, like next season on Arrow? I mean, the Arrow just keeps taking Batman elements to begin with. But Suicide Squad doesn't just limit to Arrow villains. It's all over the universe, so it's a possibility. What do you think?
I would love that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I want it to now. Now that we're talking about it.
It sounds possible because the amount of stuff we've gotten in the DC world building this season in Arrow is incredible. Mm-hmm. And, the chance to see Harley on the big screen probably ain't going to happen.
Right.
Not for a long time. I don't see her coming in Zack Snyder's sequel here.
No.
It wouldn't make any sense. She's going to have to come in when the next Joker comes in.
Right.
And who knows when that's going to be. So getting to see her on TV would just be like a quick fix, you know? And it'd be fun. They said on IGN, and I completely agree with this, that they don't even have to show her face this time around. They can just show her back, right? Mm-hmm. And just be like, that. Oh, she's too crazy. She used to be a friggin' psychiatrist at Arkham. She can't do this.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great fix. That people will get excited from that.
Yeah, just give a little Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of thing. You don't actually do anything with the character. You just reference them. You could have that, and maybe season 3 you cast an actress and she comes on. Season 4, I don't know. Thinking way ahead.
Do you think that if they decide to kind of insert Harley Quinn into Arrow, if that'll open up the gateway for them to mention more about Gotham City?
Yes.
Because right now, pretty much all we hear about is Starling City, because that's obviously where
they've mentioned Bloodhaven before. Though.
Bloodhaven and Central City is the other big one.
When we talked, they talked about Central City, and when we talked earlier, and I remember saying that, imagine just the season finale is just Felicity and Diggle watching TV, and they just see Metropolis getting destroyed. Yes. Or something like that, though, and you see those universes connected. I just think it would be cool, we were talking about Harley Quinn, just to show Gotham exists, mentioning Gotham. Next season, you open the chance. Maybe Harley comes. She leaves the Joker for some reason. It always happens. We always have those stories. But they always come back to each other. That's why their relationship's so strange. But maybe you have Nightwing fucking come.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nightwing's coming over. And who wouldn't love to see Nightwing?
Everybody loves
Everyone loves Dick. Everybody loves Dick.
I mean, with young Mr. Wayne being the toucher.
The cycle continues when he adopts his young boy.
David Mizzou shows up in
All right. Next topic.
Do you think they could ever allude to Batman? Like, he doesn't have to show up in the show, but do you ever think they're like, oh, this guy running around in Gotham in a bat suit? Do you think they could ever?
I remember watching Smallville, and it was like season 5. And this was the most offhanded comment ever, and it meant absolutely nothing. It was some asshole friend of Oliver Queen. Of course, Oliver Queen was on Smallville at some point.
Yeah.
And he had some asshole friend come, and he's like, I gotta go back to Gotham. And I just thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever. But they mentioned it. It exists. Yeah, I hope they acknowledge Gotham at some point. Yeah. It is Gotham or Metropolis or any... I mean, it was cool to have Flash in Central City, you know what I mean? But, like... Oh, fuck.
Anything to tie into the big universe makes it a more worthwhile show, you know?
Metropolis and Gotham, the cities that matter. You know what I mean? Yeah. It'd be like in real life, you know, people not talking about New York, LA, or Boston. It'd be people talking about, like, Tampa Bay.
What about Detroit? Because that's where I see my Gotham parallel.
Yeah.
But other than just the cities, do you think they'd ever, like, squeak in that these characters exist? Like, the one I see not making a whole lot of sense would be like Superman, because it's like,
just super.
How do you slip in a short thing about like an alien,
the Kryptonian?
Like, the Kryptonian.
We've just mentioned superpowers. Let's just fucking throw the whole thing.
Just like,
I mean, that's why when Green Arrow first came out, it was always drawn the comparison to Batman,
right?
And that. Because they're both non-powered super vigilantes. So let's get them together. You don't even have to have Batman on the show. I would love a mention. And I think it is possible. Just a connection.
Maybe Queen Consolidated doing some business with Wayne Industries. Yeah.
As I told you, I think the rest of the season, Brady does our Arrow articles, and I know he's been writing this. But I've been of the mind that this entire season, Oliver's going to lose his fortune. They're going to lose the money. That was the move that the writers made to differentiate between Oliver and Bruce Wayne. And it happened in an old continuation, and Jeff Lemire brought it back in new continuation in New 52. And guess what happened when he did that? It made the comic that much better. So I really feel Ollie's going to lose his fortune. Maybe you could tie in Wayne Enterprises into that, and Dick Grayson, an emissary for them, comes over and, you know...
Right,
just he bangs Laurel real quick. Who's a redhead on the show? One with a redhead. They go to Clark Kent's barn.
And that's how they tie in Superman. He shows up like, what the fuck?
Back to
the iconic bar.
All the way back to David Mazouz in Gotham for a sec. I kept thinking of, like, what if he's going to be like the character to Jim Gordon? Like, Jim Gordon's like Lex Luthor. Like, not like bad, but just like he's just sitting in the police station like Lex Luthor was sitting in his house. And every episode, Clark would bust in and be like, Lex, why are you doing this? Right? I feel like every episode, like, David Mizzou is going to be Bruce investigating cases on his own. He's going to come in and be like, Gordon, this is what's going on. And Lex would always be like, why do you even care about this, Clark? I'm writing a paper. David Mizzou, Jim Gordon's going to be like, what do you care about these cases? I'm writing for the school newspaper. My butler tells me about this. Yeah, but why are you doing this?
I think you just figured out the whole plot of this show.
That's a show. That sounds like a Fox TV show, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's on par.
All right. Let's move on. So we've covered Arrow, we've covered Arkham Knight, we've covered Gotham. All right, let's move on to one of the big releases this week was Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. We finally got the first trailer for that. Friggin' first movie came out 10 years ago, almost now, 9 years ago, and we've been waiting for a trailer. This movie got delayed last year. And we finally get to see some preview of the prequel, whatever you want to call it. It is a prequel, but it's a sequel. I always get confused about shit. Like, what is the 300 sequel? It shows shit before 300, during 300, and after 300. What do you call that? A companion piece.
An all-encompassing.
Like, who the fuck would use a term a companion piece with 300's companion piece? This masterpiece.
This was exquisite.
Yeah, but Sin City, we got looks at Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. We got to see Mickey Rourke back as Marv. We got to see a quick look as Eva Green as the Dame to Kill For. We got to see all the Frank Miller noir glory, as I said on the blog, and you got to see Jessica Alba table dance. And personally, that is one of the only movies I ever liked Jessica Alba in. Not just because she table danced, but like I feel like she acted well alongside Bruce Willis in that first film.
Right.
Yeah, she wasn't good in Spy Kids 4 or Good Luck Chuck. But, you know, those are just
Fantastic
really
Four.
She was Sue Storm.
Yeah, or the Fantastic Four. So
Reed Richards. Yeah, so what do you guys think of the Sin City trailer? Any expectations? Are you excited? You guys see it?
Maybe I think I have to rewatch Sin City in order to watch Sin City 2.
Well,
Prequel.
Well, think of the positives. This is going to be no Elijah Wood. And even though he was really creepy, he was actually really good. But I'm just saying, just for the less creepiness factor,
Right.
no Elijah Wood. And then you don't have the yellow bastard because he's a gross fuck. No one likes a penisless yellow man.
That's true.
And he's just gross, man. You know, fuck. Yeah, but Robert Rodriguez, it looks like he did a good job. I love the way they shoot this. It's incredible. It's that comic book pulpy kind of style.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really something to look at. And, you know, you got JGL, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You know, it's exciting shit. It's a great time to be alive. We're getting movies like Sin City made, 300s, graphic novels.
Yeah.
Comic book properties are being bought left and right. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to play Morbius in Sandman. Right?
Really?
They're making a Sandman movie.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So, and they're making a fucking Preacher TV series on AMC. It's just great to see kind of non-mainstream comics being made into something like Sin City. So let's hope Sin City 2 does well. Dame to Kill For. All right.
Trailer looks good. Looks really good.
Trailer looks good. All right. So, other big news this week. Finally, we're into the Marvel realm.
Yes.
We're making our way over there. Big news over there was Kim Soo-hoon was cast in a top secret role. Now, she's a Korean actress. She also goes by Claudia Lim, or Kim. Is it Claudia Lim or Kim?
It is
Kim. Claudia Kim. And she is in a top secret role. The reason they won't tell us who she is she, quote unquote, is a spoiler if they tell us who she is. So, fellas, it's time to speculate. Who the fuck is she playing? People on the internet are like, Madam Hydra. Some people are saying maybe she could be somebody else. Who do you think it could be?
Like the actual
Black Widow
Mandarin.
replacement.
Oh, man.
No, I think definitely since Scarlett Johansson did get pregnant, they need another female lead role in there, and she definitely fits the spot, you know, where they can have another female character in there. I'm definitely thinking Hydra, most likely.
You think Madam Hydra?
Yeah.
Now, if she's a spoiler, it leads me to feel she's a villain rather than a hero.
Yeah.
And the reason is because usually they don't want to spoil when a secret villain comes up, because all of a sudden that's the hot thing in comic book movies. Trevor Slattery isn't the Mandarin isn't the real villain, it's Aldrin Killigan. Bane isn't the real villain, it's Talia al Ghul. Scarecrow's not the real villain, it's Ra's al Ghul. Well, that one, I'll give a break, because that was like one of the first ones to really kind of do that.
Yeah.
But Joker's not the villain, it's Harvey Dent! Loki's not the villain, it's Thanos. Okay, yeah. But that seems to be the new trend, that like we have to have some secret villain pop up. And yeah, it would seem natural that she could be the Hydra. I didn't watch that All Hail the King thing with Trevor Slattery, and someone told me that it leads you to believe that there's going to be the real Mandarin at some point. But I'm not going to waste my time because they wasted my time with that shithead character.
Yeah.
She could be the real Mandarin. It'd be a cool take.
It
Would
would.
be an interesting take. The Mandarin's...
Would you think she'd come on denouncing Aldrin Killigan, like, fuck you?
Fuck you, taking my identity and shit. I don't breathe fire. You know what? Maybe she's Doc Doom.
No, this is our female Doc Doom.
Even though Marvel Studios doesn't have the rights to him. Yeah, so
it's a bold move on Marvel Studios' part.
So we can only speculate who Kim Soo-hoon is, Claudia Kim. Well, we'll see how she does. But another interesting tidbit from the Avengers is, we were talking about it earlier, Scarlett Johansson is pregnant. Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Yeah, there we go.
It's supposedly her husband's baby.
It's probably Captain America's baby.
Her husband, her fiance, good for them. 21st century. You can have kids out of wedlock. Little bastard.
No one will judge.
No, I'm not a bastard. Never mind. Was Bruce Wayne a bastard?
We should look into that.
That's the hotel.
Maybe we'll learn in Gotham. Maybe
the Court of Owls killed my parents because I was a bastard child.
Oh man.
No, Gordon pulls their birth records and something doesn't match up here. He wasn't born.
That's the first case. He's an illegitimate child.
Maybe that's Bruce's first case. Was I a bastard child?
Okay. So Scarlett Johansson is pregnant. The reason this is a story, it wouldn't be a non-factor. But much like in the, I thought about this the other day, in the WNBA, getting pregnant, they put you on the injury list because you can't play. You know what? She can't go out there for 4 downs and kick ass as Black Widow pregnant. So it seems that she might get some scenes cut. The actress who played Talia al Ghul, Martario Collard, that is a completely wrong way to say it, but she played Talia al Ghul. She was pregnant at the time of filming, and that's one of the reasons a lot of her scenes were cut, and we got the lamest death of all time of her dying in a car crash. I know we all wanted to see Talia al Ghul, the head of the lead assassins, and we saw Nissa al Ghul kick some ass on Arrow.
That's true.
I guess we could see her half-sister do it, not her. But that significantly cut her scenes. So you guys think that Scarlett's going to get her scenes cut because they mentioned that they're going to fast-track, but she clearly isn't going to be able to kick as much ass as before. What do you guys think?
Definitely, she's not, like, I feel like her role is going to be a lot reduced, a lot more of staying on the ship. I mean, in Avengers, did she really play an integral part in the fighting?
She had that cool moment with Loki.
Yeah, but not, like, besides getting basically butt-fucked by the Hulk, and then butt-fucked by Hawk. Not Hawk, Hawkeye.
Are you talking about Black Widow getting butt fucked by these two, or Loki?
No, Black Widow.
When did she get butt fucked?
Yeah. Term. It is a term.
But what do you mean butt fucked?
I mean, she got destroyed by the Hulk. Of course, anybody.
Hit once.
It destroyed. Come on.
Regain your senses, battle.
And then
I just like to say, everything Thor says is fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it's not even meant to be.
And he says
we don't have time for games, Loki.
But, like, for her, I feel like her role as a hero she's overshadowed by everyone else. If they're gonna try and change that in this, or maybe in Captain America 2, then whatever happens to Captain America 2 is gonna be drastically decreased in Avengers 2. Yeah. So I think either way, her being pregnant isn't gonna really change much of everything. It's just gonna change her action scenes. Yeah. So you think they're gonna give her like the Maria Hill kind of position, right? Like Colby Smuthers had, like shoot at Loki one scene and then just stand on top of the board with a headset. Maybe they'll be like, she hurt her leg. She can't go out. Put her on the pup list.
Tore her ACL.
Yeah, like it seems like they're gonna have to. Like it actually could be a positive thing because they got to introduce Quicksilver, they got to introduce Scarlet Witch, they got to introduce who knows if Ant-Man shows up. Maybe Paul Rudd makes a quick little appearance. Get it a little. Yeah. So who knows? Scott Lang, Ant-Man, ScarJo, pregnant, Coolio. Excited for Captain America though.
Yeah,
those TV spots are getting better and better. And earlier reviews are in, and they said it's the darkest Marvel movie so far, which is a positive sign.
Yeah, no, I was reading an article about the direction they're trying to take. Basically, it's a man out of time, obviously, like the comics are. And a lot of times in the comics, Captain America just basically takes off his shield and says, I'm going to take some time to try to figure out this world. Because he is living out of time. And so in this one, they're looking at it with all the NSA things and stuff like that coming out, and S.H.I.E.L.D. being the same exact kind of way. They're looking at it as Captain America in World War II, there's definitely a bad guy. It's the Nazis, you know. I'm going to go after the Nazis, going to kill them, going to do whatever it takes, defeat them. Now, where the bad guy is not so defined in their rules and intricacies, like, you have Captain America like, oh, okay, so why are you spying on your own people? And, you know, things like that. So it makes for a more...
You don't know who the villain is.
Right.
And they said it is political thriller.
Right.
So Robert Redford plays a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, I believe, or like one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. heads. Now, there's speculation he could be the Red Hood, not the Red Hood, Red Skull in disguise. And that could be really cool. Like something like that. He doesn't know who the enemy is. And from what it sounds like S.H.I.E.L.D. disbands after this movie.
Yep.
Maybe a way to get rid of having to pay Sam Jackson because he's got his 9 movies up. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to look for a reason to cancel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Save us. We're fucking drowning out here. It did dip once again to a season low this week. Drink one for that.
Of course.
They canceled immediately after the premiere of Captain America.
It's a series low.
But we have
that's rough.
We have spoilers. Bucky Barnes is the Winter Soldier. If you didn't know.
Really?
Wait, what? I know they're trying to conceal it. You know, it was just like in the Catching Fire trailers at the beginning when they try to conceal that they go back into the arena.
Yeah.
Like everyone has read the books. We know they're going back. You don't have to hide it. The big reveal. We're going back in. Holy what? What?
We just got out.
They just got...
They were in there for the first movie.
You never get off this train. So like they're like trying to hide that it's Bucky. It's fucking Bucky. I'm sorry if you didn't know that, but you're a dumbass. If you have any interest in this stuff, you knew it was Bucky. And I wish they got a better actor to play him. Like, if they got someone, like, decent in the first film, I don't know, Sebastian Stan, I'm prejudging you, by the way, pal, I'm sorry. I've never seen you in anything else. But, you know, you're very unmemorable. You fell off the train in the first one, and not to, you know, usually you feel bad when the sidekick dies, you know, feel a little empathy. I couldn't give a shit. I was kind of glad he fell off.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, it leaves Steve unencumbered. Yeah, Bucky. I'm excited for that movie, though. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of action. And we get Falcon.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah. So integration, more diverse team. All that good stuff. Okay. Next up. Heading to Mark Webb-averse. Over to Spidey. This week, Mark Webb, the director of The Amazing Spiderman, was talking about the Rhino character and Paul Giamatti. And one of the big criticisms everyone has of this movie that hasn't come out yet is that there's too many villains, and that's the Spider-Man. Everyone, when they say the word too many villains, now references Spider-Man 3 as the movie with too many villains. Because they had Green Goblin, Harry Osborn, they had Sandman, and they had Venom shoehorned in. Topher Grace, how could they call that Venom? So, Mark Webb cleared it all up. He has told us that the Rhino is only in 4 minutes of Amazing Spider-Man 2. So that means Paul Giamatti has enough time to get his ass kicked with his weird tattooed face in front of the Daily Bugle tumbler, then get manholed in the face with a manhole cover, and then go to jail till the Sinister Six movie. What do you guys think, though? What do you think of this revelation? Ryan, you were really interested in what was the Rhino's role, so...
Yeah, I mean, we kept seeing these trailers, and everyone was talking about, like, oh, we're seeing more of Electro and more of, you know, all the, like, the devices at Oscorp. And I kept saying, you know, everyone's been talking about the Rhino, but we haven't seen... like a single thing about the Rhino except for like that 2-second clip of like the suit, like he's going into the suit, and yeah, I was just very interested to see what the role was going to be because it didn't seem like there was a lot of focus on it, and now I guess I know why because there's only 4 minutes of footage with the Rhino, so
it's going to focus more on Harry Osborn and Electro.
Yeah,
my theory is that the movie opens up with Rhino. I think
kind of a cold opening,
right? Yeah, like with his thinking, his like just a villain opening. He's getting into the suit, like him arming up, and then the introduction of Spider-Man, you know, and stuff like that. Like, because I feel like I never expected him to be there for a long time. You know, I feel like it's just an opening for battle scene for Spider-Man, get the action started right off, and then back into the more deeper stuff, you know.
So just a scene that kind of shows Spider-Man doing his thing,
yeah,
and then also introduces that, like, hey, the Rhino is like present and existent
in this universe.
Yeah, and we'll come back to him in a
That is fantastic.
Time.
I love that, and that's one of the things we never get to see in superhero movies. Like, there's so many times does a superhero kick one person's ass in one day, right? But we always see the struggle for a set of days against one villain. I like a quick villain that you see. Like, I love the beginning of The Dark Knight because you see a quick cold opening with him foiling a scarecrow drug thing.
Right.
And that's just like another day on Bruce Wayne's job. And you get to see, because we know that Peter has been Spider-Man for a while now.
Yeah.
And we just got to see him at the top of his game. He's probably going to be cocky as shit because he's going to beat the shit out of this. And we're going to see how Oscorp gives Giamatti the suit real quick. And he gets his ass kicked, and then maybe that's why Dane DeHaan takes the Goblin formula. Maybe that's why they create Electro as a reaction. Like, we can't beat this fuck up with this Rhino suit.
I mean, he takes a manhole to the face. I mean, what else can you do?
That looks... Some of the action scenes that we've seen in the trailers look awesome. Like him catching the car and the manhole cover.
I love it when he does the thing with the webs that he, like, slings heavy objects at people. And that manhole cover scene, so cool.
Yeah, awesome. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I'm really pumped up for it, too. There's...
No negative to it? I really think there isn't. I think this is just positive. It gives the other villains more time. It gives the Rhino a quick introduction so we know who he is in the future. Yeah. He's part of the Sinister Six.
I mean, I guess I do have a negative. You know, I'm on the Paul Giamatti bandwagon. I think he's a funny little man, you know, with some funny little typecast roles.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Good character actor.
Again, like Paul Giamatti, like from all his other roles, I can't help but think of Big Fat Liar.
Blue face.
And the thing is, like, I can only imagine with Spider-Man, it's going to be like, Peter's having fun and talking trash and making jokes, and Paul Giamatti is just going to get more upset, making that Paul Giamatti face. Like, and he's going to try to get him, and we all know what goes down. Peter's going to win. It's going to be a quick fight. Like, I'm really thinking this one, he's just going to go down quickly.
Yeah, we want to see Spider-Man kick his ass. I want to see a confident Spider-Man that gets brought down to earth by, we always love that, a man with too much pride gets knocked down a peg because his girlfriend's going to be killed by either a goblin or an electrocution. A giant ball of Electra power.
All that stuff's going to be an arm. Yeah. Something to remember her by.
Oh, yeah. This keeps the arm. What are we talking about here?
All right. So that's all about Mark Webb and his world. All right. Final note. Batman Superman has begun filming in a little town called
Metamora.
Metamora, Michigan.
What did you know about that town? It is filled with IHOPs.
Well, instead of Pete Ross, who's the Gotham citizen who works at IHOP, you're gonna want to go talk to Edward Nigma at the IHOP. Who's another one who would be hysterical to see working at like
Penguin?
I'm gonna go talk to Oswald.
You're gonna go talk to Oswald at Trader Joe's.
7-Eleven down on the corner.
It's the manager at Whole Foods.
And Selena Kyle, she's a fashion designer in Sears.
Yeah. Pamela Isley, she works at Bath and Body Works. Yeah, so they're shooting in Michigan, and some of the things we've heard is that in this little town in Michigan, they've been building shit for months, building sets. And we know one of the great things about Christopher Nolan's Bat movies were those amazing sets like the sewer in Bain Sewer that they were in, and the well and all that kind of shit. But I think what they're doing is rebuilding the Kent Farm up there, so they can film Kent Farm scenes up in Michigan while simultaneously filming in cities of Detroit.
So Batman is gonna have sex with Lois Lane
in the barn.
In the barn.
If that doesn't happen,
it's gonna happen.
Of course it happens. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Ben Affleck and Amy Adams. Lex, why'd you sleep with Lois? Why do you care, Clark? I'm writing about it in the Daily View.
The Daily Planet.
Jim Gordon.
It's an opinion piece.
Oh man, Superman. Here's a question: are they gonna fucking call him Superman? They didn't call him it, right?
Yeah, they had that weird joke that was kind of like not really a joke. I guess it was a joke, but it wasn't like funny like a joke.
A Dave Goyer type humor.
I think what it is.
The S should stand for super.
You was gonna say Superman, and we all know it.
I think the thing is that you want the realism of a real world, and like some dude who can kick everyone's ass, break satellites in space, fly back to Earth, destroy a whole city, and snap a dude's neck on a whim. Like, you're not gonna know of a name to call him right off the bat. Like, Superman. I'm okay with this. Like, 2 days later. No, like, it's like, I have no idea what the fuck to call you. You're just God.
See, everything you just said is exactly what Lex Luthor's gonna use in his campaign against Superman.
Oh, yeah. Wait, don't they briefly... One guy from the army calls him Superman in the first one, doesn't he?
At the end there?
Yeah, he's like, oh,
he's hot.
They're like, Superman's coming, and the guy's like, who?
Shit.
They're like, oh.
McConaughey's there.
That's what we've been...
Shit.
That's just what we've been calling the alien. We've been calling him Superman. So.
But let's find a fucking part for McConaughey in this film.
He would be a great Lex Luthor.
I know. I said... I'm not even kidding. I said this a year ago.
Yeah.
On this series, so I was on the McConaughey train. And now that thing is just chugging along. You ain't going to be able to get him for anything.
No.
Yeah.
We are in the middle of the McConaissance. The Renaissance, the McConaissance. so that's what we are in right now. Yeah, so Batman, Superman, filming in Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Exciting, arousing. Jesse Eisenberg, I mentioned. I don't know if he shaved his head yet. Cue ball. No. Do you think he's going to shave his head? He better shave his fucking head, right?
I think they might take a new approach to Lex and not shave the head.
That's the old approach, though. That's what Gene Hackman did.
That's true. But I think what they're going to try to keep it more realistic and everything like that.
But Lex is bald, man.
Everybody knows Lex is bald.
That's what we want.
Can you imagine Jesse Eisenberg's head,
give us something we want? Like, I know he has this idea that he's like, well, if you read way back in the 1940s, Superman killed Zod all the time. I don't give a fuck about the 1940s. I give about the characterization of the last 70 years in which Superman doesn't fucking kill people. Well, if you read this one comic back in the 1930s, Batman uses guns. So in the new trilogy, Ben used guns. Fucking A, dude. Can you give us something we want? We want Jesse Eisenberg's head shaved. Is there someone out there who doesn't want his head shaved? Like, Dan, really. Can you give a reason for why he needs hair?
Frank Underwood doesn't want his head shaved. Frank Underwood wants to let her go.
If Kevin Spacey got another shot and he didn't have to just react as Gene Hackman and it wasn't about him in a stupid kryptonite island, I feel like he'd do great.
He would.
But
I think he'd be too old to play Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
For,
That's exactly what I said with Bryan Cranston. He's just too old at this point. And I like, we've gone over it over and over again, that we like that Jesse's young. But shave your fucking head, pal.
Yeah,
shave that.
Just do it.
Lex Luthor with hair is usually a fiery redhead, too.
Yeah.
And Jesse is not even remotely ginger enough to have hair. And
he's
be
not a
Lex
fire
Luthor.
crotch.
So.
Lex fire crotch. You remember that first episode of Smallville with how red that hair was?
Yeah, how ridiculously red it was.
I love how we quote Smallville as the source of real Superman knowledge when they went a lot off book.
Yeah.
They were more true to some of the shit than Zach was. At least they weren't like in 1940. Well, if you read back, I'm actually a Zack Snyder supporter here too. I'm just, that just bothers me that he snaps Zod's neck. But now, like the Oliver Queen reaction to Tommy Merlin's death, maybe we'll see the reaction to Superman in a code of moral change, and it also gives Lex ammunition. Anything that gives Lex a little power over Supes, it gives him the public opinion I love. Because I love Lex playing that card. He wants to be the most powerful man in Metropolis, and this god comes down, and it threatens him to not be the most powerful man. And
I mean, I can see a scene probably with Batman and him talking about it. Well, not Batman, Bruce and him talking about it.
Yeah.
And it becomes like Bruce is just gauging out like how do you feel about him, and that's the iceberg. It's a menace.
Yeah.
Like,
just look at this fucking clown.
We have to kill him.
He doesn't even have a fucking name.
But like
number one
like
rule
that.
of being a superhero. Smart man.
Which Bruce is like,
shit. I'm gonna go bang Amy Adams. I hope Amy Adams gets some screen time, because now that we got Gal Gadot, Amy Adams kind of got screwed out of screen. She got screen time in Man of Steel, but they didn't give her. I feel like they gave her stuff to do, but it wasn't stuff to do. You know what I'm really saying here? That she was on the screen, but she. I don't know. It didn't feel like she got enough of an oomph.
Yeah. It was the Vicky Vale treatment. She got screen time. But
this movie's about Vicky Vale.
But she literally is a photojournalist, like in Man of Steel, and it's just like. Why?
We need this woman on the ship. I remember rewatching the film, and there is a bullshit reason she was supposed to come on the ship. I can't remember what it was. That she knows his backstory, and they don't think he'll tell them, even though they can read his mind with that machine they have or some shit. And then he's wearing a Kansas City Royals jersey.
Having a Budweiser.
The Bud. Yeah. I hope Yingling gets in this next one.
Yeah, Yingling.
Yingling. Good beer. Came out this week in Mass.
Yeah.
All right. Well, boys, I think that about covers up everything for this week. I think we did a pretty kick-ass job.
Right.
Any last comments? True Detective comments, boys? Anybody? If you're not watching True Detective, it just finished 8 episodes. You live under a fucking rock, because it is the best show on television. And that's why we're talking about McConaughey, Woody Harrelson. Great stuff.
That was a great series. Definitely watch it if you can.
If you love Batman, you will love this show.
Oh, yeah.
It's dark, detective, noir, and the character relationships in it. And it's like a literature novel on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
It's great.
If you love eminent symbolism playing into your plot, like the Monarch Theater, you'll love True Detective.
You heard it here.
The Monarch Theater. Holy shit. Oh, man. Anyone who doesn't know what the Monarch... Anyone doesn't know what the Monarch Theater is, watch the first Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, and count how many times you see the Monarch Theater show up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the only building they pass. Because it's the only building in Gotham.
Besides hotel.
I am choking on water here. Oh my god. Went down the wrong pipe. Alright, so, yep, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll be here next week. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Carl. Brady, show up next time. Alright, see you later.
Pleasure as always.